Good evening, guys. Welcome to Kiosk's Be Just and Quiz on again for Monday the 4th. Apologies, I'm having a little issue with YouTube tonight, so I'm really sorry. We've got one viewer in already. I'm quickly going to go in and change the links on our social media just to point people to the right direction. So really sorry that we're starting late, but not to worry. So guys, just bear with me. Just while I do that, massive thanks to Dean Walling last week. I mean, how good was he? And talking to him, he was brilliant and so spoke so well about his time at Carlisle. Like really, he did. Now then, I just need to do this. And sorry guys. That's me live there. So I know there's only two of you at the minute. I'm really sorry about the slight issue with YouTube. I'm just, like I said, I'm just going to change things on our social media so people know what the crack is. And then we'll get straight on with the quiz. It's a good one tonight. I've got 20 questions again. Possible high mark of Facebook now. Whoa, don't like this YouTube thing. And we'll start this quiz in 2 or 3 minutes. For those joining us on YouTube, technical issue. Head to our channel. You can join us live right now for the quiz. Hopefully that should work. Sorry guys, we will be there literally very soon. I only got still on 4. Right, that's 4. Oh, people are starting to join, so that's good. That's good. Apologies that people have maybe missed. Right, that's going on there. And I'll just stick it on Twitter as well, if you just bear with me. And then we'll give it a couple of minutes and we'll make a start. Just bear with me a second. Never work with technology. It's like I do it every day. Maybe I'm just not good at my job. Hopefully everyone's keeping safe anyway. Those that are with us already. I'm just sticking this on Twitter. Bear with me a second. Right, that's that posted. Right, so I'll give it a few minutes. I'll vamp on until we get a few more members because really sorry about that. It's our first time on YouTube. People wanted us to come onto YouTube because a lot of people don't have Facebook, which is absolutely fair enough. We set everything up, and then when it's come to crunch time, it's not worked. So really sorry about that. I'll literally give people a few minutes just to join, and hopefully they'll see. And the more we get, the merrier. But yeah, apologies about the technical issues. Right, so just a quick one on Dino. Massive thanks to him. Like he was brilliant, and he was so up for it. And bless him, beforehand, he was mega nervous about it. I mean, to be honest, it was quite a nerve-wracking thing doing this, but he was. But this guy's, played in front of a packed Wembley Stadium and stuff, and really counted when, really sort of stood up when the pressure's been on. But he was really nervous about speaking to Carlisle fans online, and after it, he was he couldn't believe the support everyone had given him. So it made his day. And just to fill in a little bit more time, he's we got chatting after, and honestly, I know I've said it before, but he is a stand-up gent, and he talks about Carlisle United so fondly. He actually said to me, if you cut him in half, he bleeds blue. And so I was just chatting away to him, and it's quite nice to know him and most of that team are still in contact today. They've got a WhatsApp group. I love the fact that I love that. That's brilliant. And he's really good mates with loads of them, and they were really looking forward to coming up to Carlisle for the 25th anniversary of the Wembley appearance. Obviously, that's not happened because of COVID-19, and he was gutted about that. But just chatting away to him here at Kiosk, we're thinking about maybe starting a podcast. And Dino's happily for me to give it a trial run with him. So he's just really helpful, and he just loves Carlisle United. So yeah, brilliant. Right, okay, we're on limited numbers. Unfortunately, it's a technical issue that we've had tonight. So really sorry that I'm gutted that people won't be joining us because of this technical issue. But it's probably something I've done, so I'll hold my hands up. But I'll make a start on the quiz. We've got a few people in. If more people join, I'll recap the questions. So tonight, because it's on YouTube, what I'll do is I'll go through the quiz, and then I will I'll go through the answers as well at the end, so everyone can mark themselves. So 20 questions tonight, like last week. I'm maybe not as charismatic as Dean Walling. Can't header like him, can't run like him, even though he's in his 50s. But 20 questions tonight, possible high score of 26. One of my dogs has just came in to take the quiz. And we're getting more numbers now. This is good. Oh, this is right. Great. For anyone that's just joined us, we've had some technical issues. I've had some technical issues tonight. I've probably messed up. Really sorry about that. You haven't missed anything yet. I'm going to start the quiz. Anyone that comes late, I'll recap the first few questions. So massive apologies for that. But anyway, question number 1. When Carlisle United were promoted for the first time from the Football League 4th Division in 1961-62 season, one club did not complete the season. Who was it? That was question 1. When Carlisle United were promoted for the first time from the Football League 4th Division in 61-62, one club did not complete the season. Who? Okay. Question number 2, and another one from the old days. At the start of the 74-75 season, which I know a lot of you will be quite fond of, in which United played in the 1st Division, the club had 3 goalkeepers on their books, 3 senior goalkeepers. For 3 points, name them. So at the start of the 74-75 season, in which United played in the 1st Division, the old 1st Division that is, the club had 3 goalkeepers on their books. Name all 3 for 3 points. We're getting some people coming later. Apologies about the original link, guys. Technical issue, probably an issue with me more than anything, more likely. We've only just done question 2. Question 1 was when Carlisle United were promoted for the first time from the Football League 4th Division in 61-62. One club did not complete the season. Who was that club? And then question 2 was at the start of the 74-75 season, in which United played in the 1st Division, the club had 3 goalkeepers on their books. Name all 3 for 3 points. Going on to question number 3. Name the former Carlisle player from his career. Mansfield, Huddersfield, loaned to Stockport, Tranmere, Carlisle between 2003 and 2007, Chesterfield and Workington, although he did not make a single appearance for the Reds. Name the former Carlisle player from his career. Mansfield, Huddersfield, loaned to Stockport, Tranmere, Carlisle between 2003 and 2007, Chesterfield, then Workington, although he did not make a single appearance for the Reds. Okay. This is question 4. Name the last top-flight English club that United beat in a league or cup fixture. That would be the last top-flight club at the time of playing them. So name the last top-flight English club that Carlisle beat in a league or cup fixture. Where's my bloody pen? Oh, where's my pen? There we go. Okay. I will repeat the first few questions at the end of this, guys, because I know we've got some people coming. For anyone that has joined us, sorry, technical issues, probably my fault. I'm glad people are getting on the stream, though, so that's good. Okay, question 5. At the start of the 2013-14 season, we signed a player on a 1-year deal. His previous club was Floriana, who were in the Maltese Premier League. Who was that player? So at the start of the 2013-14 season, we signed a player on a 1-year deal. His previous club was Floriana, who were in the Maltese Premier League. Who was that player? That was question 5. Question number 6. Okay. In 1982, Carlisle United had their first shirt sponsor, as in main shirt sponsor across the chest. Who was it? And for a second point, who was our kit manufacturer? So in 1982, Carlisle United had their first shirt sponsor. Who was that sponsor? And for a second point, who was our kit manufacturer? Question 6. We're getting some news, some guys coming in late. Guys, I will repeat the first few questions at the end before going through the answers as well. Question number 7. The track Blue Army was released as we headed to Wembley in 1995. But what was the name of the group/artist who sung it? The track Blue Army was released as we headed to Wembley in 1995. But what was the name of the group/artist who sung it? I don't think anyone's going to forget Michael Knighton rapping. It's quite catchy, to be fair. Maybe he should have had a career in as Slim Shady. Question number 8. In our penalty shootout against Leeds United in the Johnstone's Paint Trophy in 2010, which former player blasted his penalty over the bar? Then, for a second point, which Leeds player scored the next penalty who would later go on to sign for Carlisle? 2 points up for grabs there. In our penalty shootout against Leeds in the Johnstone's Paint Trophy in 2010, which former player blasted his penalty over the bar for us, for Carlisle United? Then, for a second point, which Leeds player scored the next penalty, who would later go on to sign for Carlisle? Rumour has it that ball that was blasted over the bar is still in orbit. That was question number 8 for a possible 2 points. Going on to question number 9. Other than Carlisle United, Jason Price, Chris Balderston, and Nigel Saddington have all played for which other EFL club? Other than Carlisle United, Jason Price, Chris Balderston, and Nigel Saddington have all played for which other EFL club? I wish I got to see Chris Balderston play. My dad and his mates. I wish I saw him play cricket as well, actually. All right. Next one's a good one, I reckon. I'm biased. I wrote the quiz. Question 10. Former manager Stephen Pressley shares a rare claim to fame from his playing days in Scotland. Other players with the same claim include Kenny Miller, Mark Brown, and Mo Johnston. What have all these players done that is considered somewhat unusual in Scotland? That's question 10. I know it's a bit of an essay question, but former manager Stephen Pressley shares a rare claim to fame from his playing days in Scotland. Other players with the same claim include Kenny Miller, Mark Brown, and Mo Johnston. What have all these players done that is considered somewhat unusual in Scotland? That was question 10. About Elvis and his playing career. He was quite a good centre-half in his day. All right, 11. On the 14th of January 2012, after inspection at 1:45 p.m, the referee annoyingly declared our away game postponed playing that day. And what was the score when the match was rearranged? I'm sure a few of you maybe made the trip down. On the 14th of January 2012, after an inspection at 1:45 p.m, the referee declared our away game postponed due to a frozen pitch. Who were we meant to be playing that day? And what was the score when the match was rearranged? It wasn't exactly a game around the corner, as I'm sure those that were there will know. All right, that was question 11. Moving on to 12. Which former Carlisle manager would go on to manage clubs such as Southampton, OH Leuven, and Hull City? I hope I said that middle one correctly. If I didn't, apologies. Question 12. Which former Carlisle manager would go on to manage clubs such as Southampton, OH Leuven, and Hull City? He's got a few other management jobs under his belt as well. But I didn't want to just mention the obvious ones, or else it'll be too easy. And I get stick on Twitter for making it too easy from Dan. Question 13. Michael Raines, John Evans, and Mark Bridge Wilkinson have all played for Carlisle United and which current National League club? Raines, John Evans, Bridge Wilkinson have all played for Carlisle United and which current National League club? It was always a good away day. Not that really narrows it down, but I think a lot of us miss having them in the league. 14. Following on from that question, which former Carlisle United player who we signed in 2017 has just signed for that club? So the answer, if you got it, to 13. Question 14 is which former Carlisle United player who we signed in 2017 has just signed for that club? Guys, we've got a few more people join us. Just to come clean, we've had technical issues, which I guarantee are probably my fault, which meant this has started late on a different link. So apologies, we're on depleted numbers here. I can see a lot of people have joined since I've started. I did start late. I will repeat the first few questions at the end of this. So yeah, my bad. Sorry. I'll try and make sure it's right for next week. If we're still in lockdown, which I'm sure we will be. Okay, that was question 14. Question 15. In 2016, which Carlisle United player was sent off on his competitive debut for the club? 15. In 2016, which Carlisle United player was sent off on his competitive debut for the club? Did go on to become quite a favourite at Brunton Park, mind. Maybe not in his first season as such. I shouldn't give away too many clues. I'm sure everyone got that answer right anyway. All right, question 16. After Storm Desmond, we played home games at Preston, Blackburn and Blackpool. But who did we play on our competitive return to Brunton Park? And for a second point, what was the score? So after Storm Desmond, we played home games at Preston, Blackburn and Blackpool. Who did we play on our competitive return to Brunton Park and what was the score? 16. Okay. Question 17 is another one of these. Which former Carlisle United player had the following career? Leeds, Rotherham, Carlisle United between 1997 and 2000, and Bohemians. Which former Carlisle United player had the following career? Leeds, Rotherham, Carlisle between 97 and 2000, and Bohemians. I think that one's quite hard. I wouldn't have got that one if I'm honest. But let's see. Okay. Question 18. Between 1966 and 1967, a winger with Carlisle won 4 full international caps for Northern Ireland. Who? Question 18. Between 66 and 67, a winger with Carlisle. Who? And getting on to the last 2 questions of tonight. For those that came late, which is my fault. I'm sorry with the technical difficulties, which is probably my fault. I'll repeat the first 5 or 6 questions at the start, and then I'll go through the answers. But thanks for joining us, and thanks for coming late. And I hope everyone is doing well. Not easy for a lot of people at the minute, as we all know. Okay, question 19. Who scored a hat-trick away at Boston United in January 2006 when we beat them 5-0? Who scored a hat-trick away at Boston United in January 2006 when we beat them 5-0? Excuse me. Question 20. Name the season. So I'm looking for instance, if the answer was this season, which it's not, you would answer it as 19/20. Comprende? So name the season. Top scorer in the league was Carl Hawley of Carlisle United and Ricky Lambert of Rochdale with 22 goals each. Our first game of the season was away at Wickham, and we were knocked out of the FA Cup by Cheltenham. So name the season. The top scorer in the league was joint Carl Hawley of Carlisle United and Ricky Lambert of Rochdale with 22 goals each. Our first game of the season was away at Wickham, and we were knocked out of the FA Cup by Cheltenham. Okay, so that is question 20. I will repeat the first 6 questions really quickly, and then we'll go into the answers. So apologies for everything tonight. Sorry. I'm sure it'll be my fault. I'm not sure what the problem is, but it will be my fault, so I'm sorry. Right, so question 1 was, when Carlisle United were promoted for the first time from the Football League 4th Division in 1961-62, one club did not complete the season. Who? So when we were promoted from the first time in the Football League 4th Division, 61-62, one club didn't complete the season. Who? Question 2, at the start of the 74-75 season, when we played in the old 1st Division, we had 3 goalkeepers on our books. For 3 points, name all 3. At the start of the 74-75 season, which United played in the 1st Division, the club had 3 goalkeepers on their books. Name all 3. Question 3 was, name the former Carlisle player from his career: Mansfield, Huddersfield, loan to Stockport, Tranmere, Carlisle between 2003 and 7, Chesterfield, then Workington, although he didn't make an appearance for Workington. So the name of former Carlisle player from this career: Mansfield, Huddersfield, loan to Stockport, Tranmere, Carlisle between 2003 and 7, Chesterfield, then Workington, although he did not make a single appearance for Reds. Question 4 was, name the last top-flight English club that United beat in a league or cup fixture. So that's the last top-flight English club that Carlisle beat at the time. These would have been top-flight club in a league or cup fixture. Question 5 was, at the start of the 2013-14 season, we signed a player on a 1-year deal whose previous club was Floriana, who were in the Maltese Premier League. Who was that player? So 13-14, we signed a player on a 1-year deal. His previous club was Floriana, who were in the Maltese Premier League. Who was that player? And question 6 was, I like this question. I'd like the shirt. I don't have it. In 1982, Carlisle United had their first shirt sponsor. Who was it? And for a second point, who was our kit manufacturer? So that's worth 2 points. In 1982, we had our first shirt sponsor. When I say shirt sponsor, big thing across the chest, another sleeve crack. Who was it? And for a second point, who was our kit manufacturer? Okay, so at the minute, I can't see any comments, so I'm just going to quickly go into something else and see if I can. And then I will get on with the answers. Okay, I'll get feedback. Right, okay, I can't see any. Right, apologies if you have been sending in questions. Really sorry. I'll try and make sure this is right next week. Obviously, I've messed up. But I'll go through the questions and answers now. I'll also post all these questions on our Facebook group after this. If you don't know where that is, head on to Facebook and just search Carlisle United Supporters Club or Kiosk, and you should find us. And if you want to follow us at Twitter, just search Kiosk again, and you should find us. It'd be great to have some more followers. Okay, and for those that were joining us late, Dean Walling was brilliant last week, and he was just so. We made his night with the comments that Carlisle fans were giving him, and he loved every second of it. So he just wants me to pass on his thanks, and yeah, he just loves Carlisle United. He just speaks so fondly of his time here. Genuinely, it sounds like the best time of his life. Okay, let's go through these answers. So, question 1 was, when Carlisle United were promoted for the first time in the Football League, from the Football League 4th Division in 61-62, one club did not complete the season. Who? The answer was Accrington Stanley. Accrington Stanley. Number 2, the 3 goalkeepers that we had on our books in the 1974-75 season for 3 points: Alan Ross, Tom Clark, and Peter McLaughlin. Alan Ross, Tom Clark, and Peter McLaughlin. Question 3 was the ex-Blue who had his career at Mansfield, Huddersfield, Stockport, Tranmere, Carlisle, Chesterfield, and Workington, despite not playing for Workington, Kevin Gray, who I think we'll all agree was absolutely class. The last then top-flight English club that we beat in a league or cup fixture, it was Queen's Park Rangers. Queen's QPR. For a second point, I really should have said what was the score or what was the year, but the honest answer is I didn't think about that. And the second honest answer is I don't actually know the answer, but I'm sure many people out there do. The player that we signed on a 1-year deal who had previously been playing for Floriana in the Maltese Premier League, that was Dan Hanford. Dan Hanford. Remember him? Didn't feature too much. Keeper. Question 6. In 1982, we had our first shirt sponsor. Who was it? And for a second point, who was our kit manufacturer? The shirt sponsor was McEwen's Younger. The manufacturer was Umbro. So that's probably 3 times we've had Umbro, is it? Maybe more, I don't know. McEwen's Younger and Umbro to question 6. The track Blue Army was released as we headed to Wembley in 1995. But what was the name of the group / artist who sung it? So What? Probably the greatest track of all time, barring a certain someone doing a rap. Okay. Question 8. This was 2 points again. I thought this was a good question. I don't know, maybe you found it easy. But in our penalty shootout against Leeds in the JPT in 2010, which former player blasted his penalty over the bar, and he really did blast it. Then for a second point, which Leeds player scored the next penalty, who would later go on to sign for Carlisle. So the player that blasted it over was Richard Keogh. And then the Leeds player who would then sign for us was Mike Grella, who is certainly American, but I think he's from New York. So it was Richard Keogh who blasted it over, then Mike Grella. So 2 points there for number 8, if you got them. Question 9. Other than Carlisle, Jason Price, Chris Balderston, and Nigel Saddington have all played for which other EFL club? Doncaster Rovers. That was Doncaster Rovers. The next one, I know it was a bit of an essay question, so sorry about that, but I thought it was good. Former manager Stephen Pressley shares a rare claim to fame from his playing days in Scotland. Other players with the same claim include Kenny Miller, Mark Brown, and Mo Johnston. What have all these players done that is considered somewhat unusual in Scotland? The answer is they have all played for both Rangers and Celtic. Yeah. I think it takes quite a brave man to do that. But yeah, Stephen Pressley, fairly famously, played for both Rangers and Celtic. Question 11. On the 14th of January 2012, after an inspection at 1:45 p.m, the referee declared our away game postponed due to a frozen pitch. Who were we meant to be playing that day, and what was the score when the match was rearranged? It was MK Dons, and the score in the rearranged fixture was 2-1 to Carlisle. And off memory, I think it was Jordan Cook who got both goals, and it was. I was down there, and it was class because quite last minute stuff. Yeah, class. Good memories that we all have of Carlisle United. We've all got our own. Question 12. Which former Carlisle manager would go on to manage clubs such as Southampton, OH Leuven, and Hull City? Obviously, I could have said some other clubs. It was Nigel Pearson. So Nigel Pearson went on to manage Southampton, OH Leuven, and Hull City. I've no idea if I've got OH Leuven pronounced correctly. I think I have. I don't know. 13. Michael Raines, John Evans, and Mark Bridge Wilkinson have all played for Carlisle, and who in the EFL? In the National League, Stockport County. Michael Raines, John Evans, and Mark Bridge Wilkinson have all played for Carlisle United and Stockport County of the National League. And question 14, following on from that, which former Carlisle United player who we signed in 2017 has just signed for this club? It was Richie Bennett. Richie Bennett making going into the National League when we start playing football again. I think back to the National League. Obviously, he was there with Barrow, where he did quite well. Because Curly Keith wanted to sign after that, obviously. Okay, question 15. In 2016, which Carlisle United player was sent off on his competitive debut for the club? Jamie Devitt. Yeah, 2 yellows. Second one was a little tug, and I thought it was a bit harsh, but then again, probably most of us do. 16 was after Storm Desmond. We played home games at Preston, Blackburn, and Blackpool, but who did we play on our competitive return to Brunton Park, and what was the score? It was York City, 1-1, and they were bottom of the league, I think. Because then, of course, we went on to play in the FA Cup against Everton in our next fixture at Brunton Park. 17, I thought this was hard, but you might get this. So, which former Carlisle player had the following career? Leeds, Rotherham, Carlisle United between 97 and 2000, and Bohemians. It was Rob Bowman. Rob Bowman. Okay. Question 18. Between 66 and 67, a winger with Carlisle won 4 full international caps for Northern Ireland. Who was that? It was Eric Welsh. Between 66 and 67, Eric Welsh had 4 full international caps for Northern Ireland. Question 19. Who scored a hat-trick away at Boston United in January 2006 when we beat them 5-0? Michael Bridges. Michael Bridges. What a player. Came second in our kiosk World Cup of, what did we call it? Well, we all voted for our favourite players. Peter Murphy, of course, winning. And question 20. I think these are hard. I reckon a lot of people will be there or thereabouts, but getting the exact one, we don't know. But name the season. Top scorers in the league was Carl Hawley of Carlisle United and Ricky Lambert of Rochdale. Whatever happened to him, with 22 goals each. Our first game of the season was away at Wickham, and we were knocked out of the FA Cup. Knocked out of the FA Cup by Cheltenham. It was the 2005-06 season. Right. That is the end of the quiz. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry for the technical rubbish. I'm sure it'll be my fault. I don't know what happened, but massive apologies. I'll try and make it right for everyone next week. We've had lower numbers than usual. It's probably because of whatever happened. But thanks for joining in anyway. We'll do another one next week. Should we be in lockdown? I'm sure we will be. People are saying really nice things about this. So that's nice. So yeah, come in next week and kills half an hour, doesn't it? And yeah, I'll stick all these questions and answers on Facebook in case you need to mark yourselves again. I'll stick just the questions on at first, then 5 minutes later I'll stick them on with the answers in case anyone wants to relook at any quiz questions. But thanks for joining us. Stay well and healthy and all that, and look after yourselves. And hopefully we'll all be down Brunton Park soonish. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.